What's good, T Squad? It's me, Keisha, and I am here with my All Tea All Shade Reasonable Doubt Season 3, Episode 1 review. I'm so happy that this show has returned, and I have decided to do reviews on this season because I have not done a drama series recap video series since I don't know when, maybe earlier this year, if that. So I figured I owed it to you guys. And plus, like I said, this is a show that I love, and I was super excited that the show has returned. So if you guys show up for me, I will continue to do reviews on this show. Now let's get into the first episode of the season. We see Jax walk into a bedroom and she falls to her knees. She has regular straight braids. And we see her fall to her knees and is screaming and hollering, begging for whoever is on the ground to get up. She's hysterically crying. A male figure walks into the room and kind of gently pushes her to the side to try to resuscitate the body or shake the person, whoever is on the ground. Based off the physique, I think that the person was either Lewis or maybe Corey's character. I also think that the body on the ground is her daughter, Naima, based on the storyline that has been brewing with Naima since last season. But we'll get into more of that in a second. So we then rewind to 6 months earlier. And we see Jax getting out of bed. She got micro braids as of right now. Her and Lewis are still on track. They go into the bathroom. They do the nasty, okay? They do the nasty. And they get dressed for work. And they're in the kitchen making out. And Naima is grossed out by this. She is like, get a room. And when she leaves out the door, Jax looks at Lewis and was like, is it just me or is she a biz naive now? Like, this little girl is out of control. He was like, I thought it was just me, okay? And it's obvious that Naima has been feeling a certain way. She's going through growing pains. I think she feels suffocated by her parents and that she's not able to do the things that she wants to do. And I think that this season she's going to get caught up in some mess regarding this case. That's what I think. And maybe even like drugs or something. Something, obviously, I feel like is going to happen to her character. And I really do believe that that's her on the ground. But they then go to, I don't know if it's considered mediation with their lawyer and Tony's lawyers to settle this lawsuit. But Tony wants $750,000 for her pain and suffering. And Jax is livid, okay? She not even letting the lawyer speak because she is in lawyer mode and she is just out for blood. Lewis trying to stop her. The lawyer is trying to stop her from talking, but she is not having it, okay? She cannot stand Tony for nothing. So when they leave out the office or whatever, the lawyer is like, can you please let me handle this? And Jax is like, nope, you fired. And he was like, you know what, girl? Good riddance. You have made my day. I'm so happy you fired me, okay? And Lewis is just like, dude, you got to calm down. Like, we ain't gonna never get this over with. Because mind you, it's been a year. It's been a year already. So just picture that we rewinded 6 months earlier and it had already been a year. So when we finally get to what we saw in the beginning of the episode, it'll be a year and a half by that point, right? So Jax, we then see her at the firm and she's in a meeting with the other partners or whatever. Mind you, she's the only black person in the room. Mind you, a black woman at that. And she makes a joke about how they need her to keep the lights on. And they all looking at her like, oh, this nigga didn't got beside herself. We got to wrangle her on in because she feeling herself a little bit too much. Okay, she ain't on no shucking and jiving, yes, a massa. And I think she must have forgot. They was looking at her like, girl, bye. You know, she tried to laugh it off and play it off, but she wasn't playing when she made that little comment. Then one of the other partners suggests that a lawyer by the name of Bill become an equity partner because he's really been showing up and showing out. But Jax does not agree. She does not feel like he is ready. So once again, everybody side-eyeing Jax because she is not biting her tongue. She's saying how she feel and she putting her foot down. And sorry to say, but certain white people cannot deal with black women, black people especially, having authority and not cowering to them and taking up space in the room. And that's what we find that is going on with Jax. Is Jax cocky? Yes, she is, but you gotta be to make it. You have to have a little bit of cockiness. She could tone it down a little bit, but I ain't mad at her for popping her shit. So then we see Jax meet up with the actress Brandy from P-Valley fame. She plays the character Mercedes on P-Valley, but on here she's playing an attorney by the name of Monica Wilson. Now, I'm pretty sure she's like an entertainment lawyer because she represents an actor / child star by the name of Azie. And she meets his father, who is also his manager as well. And they ask Jax to come there because the father and the lawyer feel like they need to hush up his little boo thing that is his stylist, because he is trying to transition in his career from being a child actor to be considered a serious actor. And you know that's big in a child star's career, is that turnover from being a kid to an adult and getting the world to accept you. You know, that's a pivotal point in your career. And they don't want this stylist, this girl he been messing around with, to get to talking too much or whatever. And Jax is like, that's not a hard thing to do, but Azie ain't with it. He was like, look, I need a minute to think about this. Give me the night and I'll get back with you. So Jax is like, okay. She leaves out the room and she's overhearing a little bit of their conversation, and she basically goes home and talks to Lewis about it and tells him that she feels sorry for the little boy because everybody around him is still treating him like he's a kid and he can't make decisions for himself. And she low-key wants to help him. In the middle of that conversation, she brings up the fact that Corey was nominated for an award with this black committee or whatever. And she low-key is salty about it because he's getting the award for being the first chair in Chanel's case. And we know that that was really her case. And you can tell she low-key feels some type of way that she wasn't acknowledged as well. But, she tried to play it cool or whatever. So they then get to the topic of Tony. And Jax, talking her mess, whatever. And Lewis is defending Tony. And she like, wait a minute, how are you defending this hoe? And she over here ruining our life trying to get us for over $500,000. Like, have you lost your mind? And she once again is feeling some type of way because how you sitting in my face defending your mistress who you got pregnant? Like, I understand she went through what she went through, but then on top of that, she's suing us? Like, dog, you done lost your mind. So they get to arguing a little bit, but as always, they decide to solve everything with schmecks, because they have great schmecks with each other. And I really feel like that's the basis of their relationship. I think that they do love each other and care about each other, and they have history with each other, but I have not seen it for Jackson Lewis ever. I do not like her with him. I really do not. First of all, I don't think the actor is that handsome. And I hate his hair. I've hated his hair every season of this show. I want to see Jax with somebody else. And I feel like they got way too much baggage to ever make this relationship work. Because it's one struggle after the next. I don't see it for them. Y'all let me know, do y'all see it for Jackson Lewis? Do y'all see it for them being together? Do y'all think that they are that couple? Do y'all ship them? Because I don't ship them at all. At the award show, she goes and she got on this really beautiful satin green dress. It's low cut or whatever. And Corey was the one that actually invited her. And when they talk, she is shocked to learn that he's actually in a committed relationship with Dr. Brandy. And she like, oh, really? You can tell that she low-key feels some type of way. There's a twinge of jealousy there because they had a little chemistry with each other that they weren't able to really react on. I ship them a little bit. I want to see what can happen with that. I really honestly do. But while they're talking, lo and behold, Azie walks up and speaks to Corey. They pound each other hand or whatever, and Jax goes to speak to Azie, and he play like he don't know her. And Jax looking like, I know you lying, nigga. I just seen you what the. So she play along, and he introduces them to his girlfriend, the stylist. And Jack's looking like, oh, really? Looky. Here go cocky. So the stylist is played by Rumor Wilson. Rumor, what's her daddy name? Why am I losing my mind? Her daddy, Rumor Willis, not Wilson. Rumor Willis. And her character's name is Wendy. Now, her character is not only white, but 10 years older than Azie. So she looking like, what is going on here? Because this is the girl that he's introducing to us as his girlfriend that he is in love with. But the family is trying to shut her up. Like, what is the tea? So later on during the ceremony, Jax is outside having a drink, and she spots him and confronts him about pretending like he don't know who she was. And so she was like, look, since you don't want to really answer no questions, just take a sip of your drink every time I'm right. So she gets to breaking it down about how basically his family is trying to transition him from being a child actor to a megastar, and the black audience is his base audience. And how would it look if he is, out here trying to make it further in his career and he pop up with a white girl? It's just not going to work. It reminds me a lot of Michael B. Jordan and what he is going through with his career, with him having a preference that we've seen in the past of liking white women, and then, he popped out with old girl there for a minute. They was together for about 2 years, and we ain't seen him with another black woman since. So he basically says that she's right. That is what's going on, but that he really honestly does love Wendy and wants to marry her. And he says that it's not that simple to just say his parents, because he provides for everybody, and she was like, look, you got to live your life for you at this point. You can't continue to live your life for everybody. You got to make you happy. And she gives him her card. So her and Lewis end up going on a dinner date with each other. They having a real good time. They sipping, having drinks or whatever. They cuddled up all in the booth. And this lawyer comes over to introduce himself to Jax because he knows of her. And lo and behold, guess who walks up with him? His date, who is none other than Tony. And Jax is like, girl, you gotta be motherfucking kidding. I can't even go and have drinks with my nigga and hear this bitch go. Like, I gotta be reminded of this man infidelity every time I turn around. So when she introduces herself, she tells the dude that they unalived her baby. And I'm like, girl, read the room, get a therapist. It is not that deep. Like, child, please get it together. So Jax ended up going off on her. And I didn't blame Jax because, girl, you are psycho. Why would you even say that in front of this man that you just met dating or whatever? He a colleague of mine in the same industry. Like, what is you doing? So they end up going home, and Lewis is pissed with Jax, talking about, this is a restaurant I would like to go back to, and you showed out, and you need to learn how to just ignore her. You don't have to go in every time she say something. And I'm looking at Lewis like, sir, I don't know what crack you smoking, but she got every right to feel the way that she do. Like, this girl came over there starting with y'all. Make it make sense. So she's just supposed to sit there and just be on mute. She's suing y'all for $750,000, sir. What about this don't you get? I wasn't mad at the way Jax responded because I felt like Tony set herself up for failure with making that little slick ass comment. So he ended up sitting on the bed and admits that he's ashamed he didn't give Tony the closure that she needed, and that Jax making her feel bad reminds him that he effed up pretty much. Jax then sit next to him and tells him that she's afraid Tony is going to come between them again. And so they basically both just put their insecurities out there on the table. And once again, this is just another sign to me that let it go. Like, okay, Kirk and Rashida. Tony, Jasmine, like, girl, it's too much. It's too much. Like, I feel like their relationship is a struggle love. Like, it's toxic AF, and I just do not see it for them. So then my song by Jay plays, Say Hello to the Bad Guy. They say I'm a bad guy. I come from the bottom, but you know I'm mad fly. That's my shit from American Gangster. I love that this show's title, the episode titles as well, are all based off Jay-Z records. I love that. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. So at the office, we see Bill. We meet Bill, who is being played by Joseph Sikora, who played Tommy on Power. And he is told by the head partners that he will not be making partner. And he plays like he understands, but he is not having it at all. So before he leaves, he turns back around and says, you know, well, what can I do to basically get there? And so they was like, okay, we see the dedication and motivation. Come on in our office, let's have a talk. He plotting and scheming. He not taking no for an answer. Like, he the type of dude that's going to do and say anything to get where he needs to be. Okay, he is low-key cutthroat, and he the type you got to keep your eye on because he is a slithering snake in the grass. Okay, and he is going to cut your throat at any possible given time. He is one of Jax's enemies this season that she's a little aware of, but she doesn't really know how dangerous he is yet. So Azie goes over to his parents' house. They live in a beautiful mansion that he has paid for. Well, you know, I guess out of their percentage of his managerial money. And he tells his mama and daddy that he's not giving Wendy the NDA. And the mama was like, hold up, husband. Let me talk to Orenthal, little OJ Jr. real quick. Let me handle this. So the mama basically was like, you could have called me on the phone if you wanted to ruin my life and my day. And he was like, I'm not trying to ruin your life. She was like, you can't tell me you ain't. Like, don't forget, I'm the one that sacrificed everything to get you to where you are. And he was like, I understand that, but it's time for me to take control of my own life and my career. He says, and by the way, I'm firing you and Dad as my managers, and I'm not doing the film because me and Wendy don't think that the script is good, that is right. And the mama looking like, you and Wendy? Wendy? Like, you listening to this little white girl over your mama who has helped you in your career? The mama is disgusted, okay? She is pissed. And Azie goes on to tell his mama that Wendy doesn't emasculate him and treat him like a commodity like she does. And I was like, ooh, 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 ooh. Now, at this point, I'm on Azie's side. I'm thinking like, okay, he making valid points. The mama is very mentally abusive when it comes to him. She's very greedy, money hungry. She's selfish. She does treat him like a cash register. You know, she doesn't validate his feelings or anything. And I think that she has crossed the line from manager and mama and just hater, you know? So the mama was like, well, look who's been colonized. Baby, when she said that, I screamed. That was a great line. So she says, before you put a ring on your cum guzzling snow bunny, there's something you should know, okay? And then next thing we know, it cuts to Azie and Wendy outside of his house arguing. And he like, did you do it? Because you ain't even denying it. You ain't even denying it. And so we still don't know what it is that his mama told him about Wendy. I'm assuming it probably is something like she slept with somebody. maybe even the daddy, who knows. It's giving me she done slept with somebody else, something low down dirty, right? And she says that I can't believe you believe your parents. They trying to manipulate you. And she was like, look, I'm done. I'm done with this and I'm done with you. And she goes to walk to her car. And he was like, where are you going? I'm not done with you. And then next thing you know, we see him charging towards her and then it cuts. And I was like, oh, he crazy. Okay, he one of them child stars. He's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Okay, he must have worked for the Disney Channel. Not Nickelodeon. Okay, I get it now. He is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, and I'm scared of Azie, okay? So then we see Bill pull up on Jax outside of the office and was like, can I take you to lunch? And she was like, all right. So they get to lunch and he cut straight to the chase and he was like, I just want to know where I stand with you. Because at this point, it's obvious that he realizes that she's the one holding him back from becoming partner. So she was like, all right, straight to it. I just don't feel like you're ready yet. Give it time. And so he was like, all right. And he was like, are you married? And she was like, yeah, married with children. And he was like, yeah, me too. These are my kids. And he showed her a picture of his children who are mixed. And she was like, oh, I didn't know you had a black wife or whatever. He was like, yeah, met her Air Force or something like that. And so she was like, oh, okay, And now that they like have something in common with each other, she suggests that they get to know one another. She's still not giving him the okay, but she's open to getting to know him. And I was like, oh, Jax, I hate that you kind of fell into the trap, because now it's looking like before you found out that he had a black wife and quote unquote black children, that you didn't see it for him. So now it's given, oh, he welcome to the cookout. I'll fuck with him. You know what I'm saying? And a part of me low-key feel like he's a chameleon where he gonna say what he need to say to people to get where he need to be. Because now I'm questioning, do you really even have kids? Do you really even have black kids at that? Do you really even have a black wife? Okay. Were you even in the Navy, Air Force, whatever he was supposed to be in? Because in episode 2, he does the same thing to the prosecuting attorney or whatever. So I'm wondering, is, like I said, is he one of them people that learn what he needs to learn about a person and then uses something from their life to have a common thread between them? That's how manipulative that he is. So I got my eye on Bill. I think Bill is a natural born liar and chameleon. So Jax and Lewis go back to mediation with Tony's lawyer and try to settle the suit at this point, because they just like, we over it. But Tony said, nope, the deal has changed. Now she won $1.2 million. Like, I would have been like, girl, at this point, you can have this box head nigga, because it is not that deep, okay? You can have him, sis. Take his ass on with you, because y'all done lost y'all mind, because I ain't giving you shit. He can give you 1.2 million. So Jack says to the lawyer, because Tony isn't there, like, what do we need to do to wrap this up? Like, what does she want? And the lawyer says, I think she needs closure at this point. So Lewis was like, I think I just need to talk to her, see what she wants and move on. Now, mind you, Tony had also told her lawyer that she didn't feel safe around them because they tried to intimidate her when she was the one that came over to their table acting a fool. So then we see Cash Doll, who is on the show this season, and she's playing a character by the name of Nisha. She's a stylist as well, who's very close friends to Wendy. They work together, styling celebrities, and Wendy missed the shoot, and that's not like her. She's not answering her phone, and Nisha cannot get a hold of her. She can't get a hold of Azie. She don't know what is going on, so she goes down to the police station to report that her friend is missing, and the white female police officer isn't taking her serious until she says that her friend is white. And then that's when the police officer's antenna goes up. And I love that they showed that, because we know that it is an epidemic in the United States of black women going missing, and the media, the police do not care. They don't take it seriously at all. So I love the fact that they tied that into this this storyline. So Nisha says that, she tried reaching out to Wendy's boyfriend, and he said he don't know where she at, and he don't care where she's at this point. So the officer was like, who is her boyfriend? And she was like, Azie or whatever, the child star. So then next thing you know, we see Azie coming down to get questioned. Now, he ain't got representation or nothing, and I'm looking like, dude, what are you doing? So detectives tell him that they found Wendy's bag on the side of the road. I don't remember, but did they say bag and cell phone or bag and something else? I can't remember. Y'all let me know down below in the comment section. But he was like, oh, really? Like, that's good. You know what I'm saying? And they was like, have you seen her, spoke to her? And he was like, no, after, we argued, I haven't talked to her. Like, this is what she does. She'll disappear or whatever, and she'll pop back up sooner or later. But the police are letting it be known that they don't really believe what he's saying. So he was like, you know what? I ain't saying no more until I get me a lawyer and have representation. So we gonna end this right here. So then Jax finds, no, I'm sorry. So then in the middle of the night, she gets a frantic phone call from Corey saying, hey, I need your help. Azie want to holler at you or whatever. No, it was Azie that called her. My bad. So Azie called her in the middle of the night like, I need you. So she rushes over there and finds Corey at the crib. And she like, what he doing here? And he was like, I called him first. He didn't answer. Then I called you. So she looking like, this nigga is a bane of my existence. Like, I'm always competing with this nigga. And I'm like, girl, not only you going to be competing with him, you're going to be competing with Bill too. So she ends up deciding to take on Azie's case, but Azie is still lying through his teeth. He ain't being real. He not telling her everything, but she don't know this at this point. So at the office the next day, Jax asks Bill to be on her case, and he's like, yeah, anything I can do to help. And I'm like, Jax, no, because he gonna fuck you over. And sure enough, that's what his ass is gonna do. And this is another opportunity, I feel, for him to get close to her, learn even more about her, and use it against her. I'm like, damn, Jax. So then at the end of the episode, we find out that Tony will drop the case if Lewis spends one more night with her. Baby, when they said that, I screamed. I literally was in here watching this show and I hollered because I'm like, oh, hell to the no. I know you lying. I know you lying out of your damn mouth, okay? And then the episode went off. I will say that this was a really good season premiere episode. I'm really intrigued with the case that we'll be fighting this season. Jax got a lot once again up against her. We got this high profile case with a client that is not being truthful, hiding information. He's low-key psychotic. Then we got issues with her daughter Naima, and they're not really paying enough attention to her to realize that she's going through things. Then we got the Tony situation. Then we got them really not trusting each other when it comes to outside parties in their relationship, her and Lewis. Then what else we got with Jax going on this season? Her son is at art school. She's nervous about that. Then the partners at her job are all side-eyeing her. They think that she's getting too big for her britches. It's a lot stacked up against my good sis. So we gonna be in for another ride of our lives this season. I'm super excited about it. I'm gonna give the season premiere episode of Reasonable Doubt, I'm going to give it a B+. It was a really good start. I'm really excited about it. Y'all let me know your theories. how y'all felt about the episode. Let's talk about it down below in the comment section. Please make sure to thumbs up this video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on your post notifications so you know my videos drop. I love you, T Squad, and I will see you all on my next review. Bye.